let's go through some interesting things about the heart. So this is going to work. As you can see, the heart is a pump. It's a muscle. And it pumps about 90,000 times per day and more, depending on your fitness level. And this pump has got its own built-in, what you call nerve nodes that actually help him pump and make him pump. Cardiovascular disease is responsible for almost 1 in 6 deaths in South Africa. And more South Africans die of cardiovascular disease than of all the cancers combined. I won't be surprised if this is similar in Europe and America. I won't be surprised. Every hour in South Africa, 5 people have heart attacks, 10 people have strokes. 215 people die every day from heart disease or strokes in South Africa. Now, this is 2017 statistics. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the latest ones, but probably be higher by now. But that's a lot of people every day. If you think about it, that's every couple of minutes, basically somebody's dying. High blood pressure is the major contributor in South Africa. And almost 50% of men and women have high blood pressure. And again, one can assume that places like Europe, as well as America and other westernized countries, will have the same problem. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of disabilities and death worldwide, accounting for 17 million deaths a year, 31% of total global deaths. That is a lot of people. And a lot of these could have been prevented. Premature deaths caused by CVD in people of working age is even expected to even increase. And there's a trend going on, and people are in this rat race, not realizing that there's a trend that they must change. Hypertension, high blood pressure, is the leading risk factor for death from cardiovascular disease. Of the various risk factors, this is obviously the largest impact. And the problem is a lot of people don't even know that they've got high blood pressure. You can see South Africa is a leading risk factor for stroke in South Africa, responsible for 1 in 2 strokes and 2 in 5 heart attacks. 1 in 3 South Africans 15 years and older have high blood pressure. That's a third. It's a lot. And the problem is, like I said, most people don't even know. They're not even aware that they've got the problem. Shockingly, 1 in 10 children already suffering from high blood pressure. But 2 out of 3 women, almost 1 in 3 men are overweight or obese in South Africa. And South Africa is a very obese country compared to some other countries. Almost 1 in 4 children aged between 2 to 4 years are overweight or obese in South Africa. So we're setting our children up for heart failure, heart attack, stroke, all those things. 1 in 4 adults have high total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. The LDL is a bad cholesterol. And 1 in 2 have low HDL cholesterol. Now that's the problem I had. But by changing my diet, I started eating more eggs, for example, more cocoa in my diet, more omega-3 fish oils in my diet. Next to fact, I ate a lot of fats. But I stayed away from carbohydrates, decreased that dramatically. I stayed away from your bad oils like canola oil. I stayed away from omega-6s, all these processed foods and stuff. And with that, my good cholesterol went up. Unhealthy dietary practice are creating an increased risk for cardiovascular disease. And the examples why. Poor intake of fruit and vegetables. Now, we're supposed to eat between 7 to 14 portions of fruit and vegetables per day. Think about it. How many of you actually had 3 portions today? I guess some people will say, oops, maybe 1. Potatoes, rice, they don't count. People eat too many trans fats, bad fats. Interesting enough, reduction in milk intake, now there are reasons for that, like the calcium in milk, that plays a role with heart health. Overall increase in total energy intake, too much kilojoules in terms of carbohydrates. High and increase in alcohol consumption. Low fiber intake, because people don't eat fruit and vegetables and legumes. And not consuming enough omega-3 fish. You're supposed to eat fish about twice a week, oily fish. A lot of people don't even eat fish once a month. So there's a problem. People, cardiovascular disease. You see, there's things like obesity, respiratory disease, stroke, diabetes, heart attack, cancer, arthritis. All these things are linked to one thing, and inflammation, they're all linked together, and inflammation is therefore not a good idea. And because of what we eat and our lifestyles, and because of obesity, things like that, we end up with a lot of inflammation, and which leads to many diseases. Cardiovascular disease is a general term covering diseases of the heart and the blood vessels. Okay. Coronary heart disease refers specifically to the blood vessels that feed the heart muscle. If those blood vessels get blocked or damaged, that is when you get coronary heart disease, and you get a part of the heart that dies, a heart attack. A stroke, obviously, is when there's a problem to the blood supply to the brain, and then a piece of the brain dies. Now, on this note, people are so easy to jump to medication, and they can actually fall in a bad trap. Blocked blood vessels lead to circulation problems, which lead to heart attacks and stroke. And there's plaque formation. Heart attack, like I said before, you get a blood vessel that gets blocked. The heart muscle does not get enough oxygen. And therefore, because it doesn't get enough oxygen, the heart muscle then dies. Stroke, there are two things regarding the stroke. One can be the blood vessel can get blocked, and therefore no blood gets to the part of the brain, or there can be hemorrhaging, and those blood leaks into the brain tissue and causes brain death. Now, if the hemorrhage is very bad in the brain, or the blockage is very bad, obviously the person also dies if a big piece of the brain dies. Now, there are ways to improve it. There are lifestyle changes. We talk about the 9 best doctors, like Dr. Sunshine, because the vitamins are important. Dr. Water, this is for general good health, which actually works through to your heart health as well. I'm not going to read through everything in detail. Dr. Exercise, we all know that exercise is important for blood circulation and to burn fat and so on. Dr. Rest, we need rest. We need vacation time. Dr. Sleep, you must sleep enough because your body must recover and heal. Dr. Laughter, you must relax. Dr. Air, breathe deep, clean air. Dr. Cleanse, have a detox, get rid of toxins from your body. Because all these things play a role in causing harm to your body. And then the big one, Dr. Food. Eat organic, fresh, whole food. Cut out processed foods. Cut out or eliminate peanut butter, bacon, sugar, nitrates, nitrites, MSG, canola, anything in a box, frozen can, and a packet. Limit alcohol use. This is a whole list I can go through. Increase your fresh fruit and vegetable intake. Make breakfast. Yeah, stop drinking your calories. And be careful all the sugar sweetened sodas and fruit juices and stuff with a lot of sugar in it. Cut your carb intake. Eat seafood, whole grains, berries, eggs, avocados, walnuts, dark chocolate. That's a nice one, dark chocolate. Almonds and garlic. Control your weight. Use healthy oils like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Reduce your omega-6 intake. This is a big one. Because of all the plant oils and processed foods, we get too much omega-6 in our food. So omega-6 to omega-3 balance ratio is totally out. Some people say it's even 1 to 20. We're supposed to be 1 to 1. And omega-6 causes inflammation. Others drink herbal tea like green teas and so on. But these are only some suggestions, and already it's not that easy. To change your diet is not as simple as people say. We eat to provide the body with all the nutrients it needs to function properly. Like Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. But, here's the but. People say, I follow a healthy diet. The quality of your food affects our health. 2 independent studies show incredible nutrient depletion in your food in about 50 years. For example, serving spinach, iron dropped by 21%, vitamin A by 38%, and vitamin C by 60%. That's massive. In a study of nearly 22,000 people, not even one of them got all 10 specific essential nutrients in their regular diet. In our food, we've got so many genetically modified foods nowadays. Rats develop tumors from these foods. tea as pesticides, which are carcinogens. Arsenic, cadmium, lead, acrylamide at high levels in baby food. So we're setting our babies up for bad health already. UC Davis found 69% of imported olive oil to be fake or did not meet standards. There are many more examples like this. You can go on the internet and find many more. And this is happening to our food and people do not know it. No wonder chronic disease is increasing drastically. But I use supplements that was prescribed for me to protect my heart health. Surely they must be good. Are you sure? Look at these examples, and there are more. Oregon sues GNC for knowingly selling potentially unsafe drugs in their supplements. Now that's shocking. They knew it and they still sold it. How often do you know about sportsmen and women that test positive for illegal substances unless they're innocent? Well, I understand why if you start looking at this information here. Another one was a study of 2,000 cancer patients. They gave 1,000 a placebo. They gave 1,000 one of the 6 best store-brand multivitamins in the USA. And if you compare the two groups, those who got the synthetic vitamin supplements are actually worse off than the placebo group. And these pills are supposed to help them. Forbes reports protein supplements spiked with cheap fillers. Study finds melamine in 60% plus of shakes in South Africa. Melamine, the plastic stuff in your kitchen cupboards. And these things are there. And people don't realize this. They think because it's sold in the shop that it is safe. Think before you buy supplements. You can see also in 1994, a study reported in the New England Journal of Medicine that smokers took a synthetic beta-carotene for 10 years, resulting in an 18% higher risk of lung cancer and heart attacks. Supplements are supposed to be good. That's where you must go do homework. Because sometimes products look the same, but what's inside is different. They've got the same tummies, but I don't think they've got the same content. This I also found. While some supplements are potentially helpful, a lack of regulatory oversight of these products means that others might be ineffective or dangerous, or might contain hazardous contaminants. Identifying the safe choices requires a little detective work, says Dr. Donald Levy, Medical Director at the Osher Clinical Center for Integrative Medicine at Brigham and Women's Hospital, and he says the Clinical Professor of Medicine at Harvard Medical School. Sorry about that one. And then look at the next one. All the supplements makers must follow the FDA rules. This is for America now, for good manufacturing practices. The agency does not require testing the estimated nitrogen products on the market to make sure that they do contain the ingredients they claim. There is no testing to show they really have got what they say they've got in. Also, no testing to show they don't contain contaminants like bacteria, arsenic, cadmium, or lead. This means there is no guarantee that any particular product is effective or safe. To add a degree of protection, look for products that have voluntarily gone through quality testing. Be certified by seal on the packaging. And here are some third-party seals of accountability. Seals that you find this on the product, it means the product has been tested. And there's so many things in the market. You get other false claims as well. People often say, but this product is natural. Yes, it's made from rocks. The rocks are natural. But it's made from, it's organic. Yes, you go to organic chemistry, petroleum, and acetylene, those is organic chemistry. So they can claim it's organic. So we must be very, very, very careful. Read the label. What must you look for in a supplement? Well, what do the experts say? Ask the following. Is it made from whole food that humans eat? Because so often they make things from krill oil, and they make it from pond scum, and I don't know what else they make it, and pine bark, and so on. Those are the things we eat. The absorptions are very well. It might contain contaminants that's good for us. Next thing, do studies show that it actually gets digested? Does a supplement have third-party studies? I already just mentioned that. Showing that it gets absorbed into the blood as well. Does a supplement have clinical trials that show whether it helps you or harms you? Are the minerals chelated? Chelation enhances the mineral absorption. And is it produced under pharmaceutical license, which means the label says 5 milligrams of something, there must be 5 milligrams in there. 7, is it free of genetically modified organisms, toxins, synthetics, and artificial substances such as sweetness? There's some popular shakes on the market that contains sweetness, artificial sweetness. They contain also synthetics and even GMOs. But they claim it's natural, they claim it's healthy. Be careful. Do you use synthetic or whole food supplements? What do experts say? The body knows the difference between whole food and lab replicate, other synthetic. Dr. Lester Packer, look what he says. When you take vitamin E, immediate loss of 36% when taking synthetic vitamin E. Also, Linus Pauling says vitamin C, immediately 50% loss with water-soluble synthetic vitamins the moment you take it. So it might say 1,000 milligrams on the label, but immediately 500 milligrams will not be available. And then what about the rest? Is it sustained release? There's another question you have to ask about vitamin C. Are you looking for safe and tested supplements that can provide hearty benefits? Well, don't lose heart. There are things on the market. Just do your homework. Let's see. Are there products that comply with the following? The strictest beyond organic standards for purity and potency, for proven human benefits published in the most prestigious scientific journals in the world, which has been trusted by families on 5 continents for more than 60 years, which are non-GMO, free of contaminants, pesticides, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners, other which are truly, genuinely organic and natural. And here are nutrients you need for a healthy cardiovascular system. And this is not a complete list. This will just give you some idea. And there are some herbs at the bottom as well, which also are very good. And like I said, this is not a complete list. And if we don't eat what we're supposed to eat, we're definitely not going to get these things from the food. For blood fats, blood vessels, blood pressure, already mentioned, salmon oil. Now here's a salmon oil that contains all 8 omega-3 oils, not just 1 or 2, all 8. And they work in a chain reaction. If one is missing, the chain stops. It can't work properly. Now, some people will tell you about ALA. If your body gets ALA, it can make the other 7. There's a catch there. The body is not very effective in making the other 7 from ALA. And also, if you miss a few nutrients, your body won't have the nutrients to make the other 7. So the only real solution is to get in all 8 from a trusted source, like the New Life product, Salmon Oil Plus. Clinically proven. This has been published in a couple of journals, like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, the Free Radical Biology and Medicine, Annals of New York Academy of Sciences, and so on. And you can see the evidence there. Cardioprotection. Your omega-3 index improves by 38% in 8 weeks. Lowered inflammatory index also decreased by 68% in 8 weeks. Remember, I mentioned earlier on, inflammation is a big problem. It causes so many diseases. Here you've got a natural product which you're supposed to get from your food that will decrease your inflammation levels and therefore promote your health. You can see also it improves the ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 by 43% in 8 weeks. And that's one of the reasons why. It's been tested, it works. Other benefits, it's good for memory, good for dementia, for migraines, for depression, for pregnancies, for arthritis, for IBS, for prostate, for asthma, psoriasis, for blood circulation, for high and low blood pressure. So there are a lot of other benefits. And this is not a complete list. In the trend, make the world a healthier and happier place. Thank you for listening.